One of the most common questions I get on my training program on how to sell home improvements is how do I avoid sticker shock with my customers? If you do your job right, they should be sticker shocked at how low it is. When I first started doing home improvements over 35 years ago, and before I paid the dues of being in over 16,000 homes, I lost a lot of sales because I didn't know what to do when I got to the home and they said things like, well, if your product is more than X, then I'm not doing anything. I wrongly thought that if they only wanted to spend a certain amount of money, had no idea how much my home improvement was going to cost, or thought my product was going to be half of what I was charging, that I had no chance of making the sale. And like all self-fulfilling prophecies, I was right. I didn't have bad customers, I had bad knowledge. I didn't know that what I thought was a difficult customer was really just the way this business is. The point is that when selling home improvements, most people don't know how much it's going to be. It's usually a once-in-a-lifetime purchase. They've never bought a roof, windows, or kitchens before. If I tried to sell you a can of pop for $50, you'd know it wasn't right. Now, if you've never bought a roof before, how would you know if it was going to be $5,000 or $50,000? Now add the fact that there are as many ways to make a window as there are to make a purse, and it's confusing. So expect them to say I had no idea or I thought it was going to be this, and be prepared on how to handle it. Quick story. I've sold virtually all home improvements from security systems and windows to swimming pools and bathrooms and everything in between. When I sold windows in 1997, I worked for a high-end company that was selling double hungs that were 100 United inches for about $1,300 each. At that time, it was one of the most expensive windows out there, and nationwide the closing rate was about 1 out of 3. And of course, the people who didn't buy said it was too much money. After that, I did some consulting for a company that sold more mid-range windows at about $800 each, and I noticed that the closing rate nationwide was an average of 1 out of 3. And still people who didn't buy were saying it was too much money. Then I worked for a company that sold only on price. You know, the free installation, buy 3, get 1 free, etc. companies, where it worked out that the average cost was about $400 each, and you guessed it, the average closing rate nationwide was 1 out of 3, and yes, the people who didn't buy were still saying it was too much money. It didn't take a rocket scientist to quickly figure out that ever since then, anytime I had a choice to work for someone, I gravitated to always sell the most expensive products because it meant higher commissions, and once I learned what I'm about to share with you, could sell them just as easy as if they were the lowest priced products. I'm telling you this so it sinks in that the price really has nothing to do with you making the sale as far as the customer is concerned. The only difference it makes is in your mind. And if your mind is not right, it will hurt your sales. The good part is that you can change your mind. In this video, I'll show you 4 things you need to know to avoid sticker shock and build value. Why customers think it's too much, what value really is, why credibility is the key to effective price conditioning, and ways I personally use to build value so that they never think it's too much. So be sure you listen to the end so you won't miss anything. If you like this video, hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel and it tells YouTube to show you more in-home sales training. And if you want the more detailed breakdown, including exactly how I build value and then how I close once the value is built, my training program, The Art of Selling Home Improvements, walks you through it step by step from what to say to when to say it to how to get the signature without pressure. The link's in the description below. The whole point of this video is that it doesn't matter how much the customer thinks it's going to be when you get there. What matters is how much they think it's going to be and what it's worth after you're done with your sales presentation. With that understanding, even if I go to someone's home and they think a roof's going to be $2,000, or they say things like, well, if your kitchen's going to be more than $5,000, you're wasting your time, that it honestly doesn't mean anything to me and is easily overcome. Understand this and you'll be rich in this career. Don't, and you'll have skinny kids. The first and key thing to understand is that price is just a perception. It's not written in scripture how much an HVAC system costs. Nobody was born knowing how much a bathroom costs. The customer's perception of price is based on information they've received. Now that information could be other estimates, what their friends told them, or something they found on the internet. I'm sure you know that if you saw it on the internet, it's true. The key and most valuable thing I can tell you in this video is this. Since price is a perception created by information a customer has gotten, I can change the perception of price in the customer's mind by being more credible than the information that originally created the perception. And if they have no perception, I can create the perception of price in the customer's mind in a way that they don't have to look around to compare. You have to take responsibility that it's in your control, and if they still think it's too much money when you're done, that you did a poor job. So the second thing is that your understanding of the value of your price is just as important as the customer's. The price has to be credible to you so you can make it credible to your customer. If you don't think what you're selling is worth it, it's time to figure it out or get another job. You can't sell something that you don't believe in. Sales is a transfer of enthusiasm, and if you don't think you have a good deal, how can you transfer that to your customer? To build value, you have to understand value. Price is comprised of more than just the intrinsic value, meaning it's not just the cost of the materials and labor. There are other intangibles that are just as valuable. Do you really think the materials and labor for a Rolex watch or a Coach purse are what makes it cost so much? The cost of materials and labor for a $40,000 car really are about $20,000. There are other things you need to understand and learn to sell to justify your cost. The things that make up your price could be as basic as your company reputation and longevity. Suppose you had two companies selling you a roof and both had what seemed to be the same quality of materials and the same lifetime warranty. The difference being that one was from a company that's been around for 50 years and had a great reputation, and the other you never heard of and had been around for a year. The established credible company's roof was $11,000 and the company you never heard of roof was $10,000. Would you pay the difference more to hire the established company? Of course you would. So in that example, the company alone was worth 10% more. Then add things like providing financing, having the right insurance, or having a separate service department to help you 24/7, and there are lots of ways to build the value in what you're selling. To do that, you have to mention them and know how to use them in your offering. This doesn't even include the quality of the materials or installation. The key is that you believe in your value and can transfer that to the customer. The third thing is that credibility is the key to changing perception because you have to be more credible than the source that created the perception. To change or create price conditioning correctly, they have to believe you. Let me give you an example. I don't care how much you thought a window was going to be. If I was your best friend and you knew that I was an expert on new windows and you met me for a drink and you told me that you were thinking of buying new windows for about $500 each, what would happen if I said, well, look, you can do that, but you're really wasting your money. At that price, there'll be garbage. To get anything really worthwhile and do what you want, you're going to have to spend about $1,500 each in today's world. Now, if I was your best friend and you knew I was an expert, would I have to say or do anything else other than that which just took 3 minutes tops? That's what you're trying to replicate when you price condition a customer in the home, that type of credibility. A common way to help build that type of credibility is by knowing how to use third-party literature like cost versus value, not just showing it, but knowing how to introduce it and use it in a way that makes sense and not like you're selling. The fourth thing that will help you build value is how you sell. For example, when I'm getting commitments, I say things like, now obviously it's going to be more expensive to use this HVAC system with the scroll compressor and the variable speed, but if you could afford it, is this what you want? Now they're thinking, OMG, Ron was telling us the average HVAC system was going to be about $14,000. Now with all this, it's probably going to be about $18,000. Also, you build value in how you talk and how you look. If you do it right, they should be thinking, look how professional Ron is. I know they aren't paying him minimum wage by how he acts and how he looks. With everything he's been telling us, OMG, this is going to be like $50,000. You build the value. People want and will pay for a professional. When you're hiring an accountant, do you pick the one that looks like you'd like to party with or the one that looks like a professional nerd? Another tip is that if you're doing your price conditioning correctly, they should be getting scared of the price. Don't undo it. For example, sometimes customers will sense that and they'll say things like, OMG, Ron, this looks like it's going to be really expensive. A typical salesperson says, well, don't worry, it's not. You're undoing their perception. What I say is, well, I'm not going to lie, nothing good today is cheap, but let's see if you even want the rest of it, because if you don't want it, it doesn't matter if it's $1, right? Yeah, you're right, Ron. Then when we can get to the price, if you can't afford it, you'll know whether you have to hire someone else or what you have to save up for in the future. I do know one thing. We've installed kitchens in homes half as nice as this and to people on a fixed income. So in most cases, if the customer wants it, we can usually make it affordable to them. Okay? Understanding how to build value and price condition correctly will separate you from the order takers and become a true closer. I hope these tips have helped you, and if you have time, watch it a couple of times to internalize it. Now, if you like this video, check out the playlist on closing, and if you want the full system, The Art of Selling Home Improvements is linked below. You can find tips on YouTube. This is the complete step-by-step process from value to close. Both are listed above or below in the description. Happy selling!